I tested positive for chlamydia. My boyfriend tested negative. Within minutes, we were both accusing each other of cheating. I thought a routine doctor's appointment was about to destroy my relationship. I'm 21 years old, and I've been with my boyfriend for over a year. We're exclusive, and as far as I knew, everything was fine. A few weeks ago, I started having some mild pelvic pain. Nothing serious, just enough that I decided to make a doctor's appointment to get checked out. My doctor wanted to rule out a few different things, so she ordered several tests, including screenings for chlamydia and gonorrhea. Honestly, I wasn't worried. I had been tested before I started dating my boyfriend, and everything came back negative. I figured it would just be another routine checkup. Then the next day, my phone rang. The nurse told me I had tested positive for chlamydia. I was completely shocked, but I wasn't panicking. I immediately called my boyfriend and told him what happened. I assumed we'd both get treated with antibiotics and move on with our lives. Instead, everything got worse. The very next day, my boyfriend went to an urgent care clinic to get tested himself. The clinic he visited didn't process tests on site. They sent samples to an outside laboratory. I actually called the clinic myself afterward because I wanted to know how long results usually took. The nurse told me most results came back in 2 to 5 business days. So imagine my confusion when my boyfriend called me less than 24 hours later and said everything was negative. Not only negative, completely negative. According to him, the clinic told him they found nothing. The moment he told me that, the entire situation changed. Now he thought I had cheated. And I knew I hadn't. Suddenly, neither of us had an explanation. The conversation got ugly. He started questioning me. I started questioning him. Because if I didn't cheat, and he tested negative, then how was this even possible? The more I thought about it, the less sense it made. Then something happened that made me even more suspicious. After accusing me of cheating, my boyfriend suddenly changed his attitude. Almost overnight. One minute he was upset. The next minute he was calm, supportive, loving, and strangely eager to drop the entire conversation. He even told me not to worry about getting another test. Just take the antibiotics and forget about it. That didn't sit right with me. The whole situation felt off. So I started replaying everything in my head. Then I came up with a theory. Maybe the clinic had called him with preliminary results. Maybe one test came back negative. Maybe he misunderstood what they were saying and assumed everything was negative. Then, when he went back to the clinic, they explained that his chlamydia results weren't actually finished yet. That would explain why he suddenly stopped accusing me. But there was a problem. If that theory was true, why wouldn't he just tell me? Why pretend everything was fine? Why act like the misunderstanding never happened? At that point, I didn't know what to believe anymore. The trust between us was cracking. So I asked him to call the clinic again. This time in front of me. And what happened next only created more questions. The clinic confirmed that all of his results were negative, including the chlamydia test. Now neither of us knew what to think. If I was positive, and he was negative. Then something wasn't adding up. At that point, he agreed to get tested again. But by then, the damage was already done. What started as a routine doctor's appointment had turned into one of the most stressful situations our relationship had ever faced. Because sometimes, the hardest part isn't the test result. It's wondering whether you can still trust the person sitting across from you. If your partner tested positive and you tested negative, would you believe it was a mistake? Or assume someone was lying?